Let's talk 12th house, baby. Let's talk for you and me. Let's talk about all the 12 things so we can have amazing 12th house seasons. Yeah. Okay, but real talk. Is 12th house season hard or is it hard? Well, it might feel that way, but it doesn't have to actually be that way. It just takes a little bit of awareness and understanding of what our experiences might feel like, why it's different than normal, and what we can do about it. So let's get into it. Okay, so I just completed my 12th house season and it was an extra strong one. Okay, I had basically all the personal planets traversing my 12th house at the same time, and because of that, the energy was super potent. And I will do my best to differentiate what each planet traveling through your 12th house might feel like because they all will carry a different energy and a different purpose. Now, something else to delineate between is 12th house season versus Pisces season. So, Pisces season is a collective thing, right? The sun is traveling through Pisces for everyone. And so, because of that, your experience might feel a little more congruent with your outside world, right? Because it is the outside world. And so, while you still have the Piscean themes, a little more dreamy and fluid, um, more like subconscious activity that's happening, it won't feel as personal as when these planets are going through your 12th house, right? And so because it feels so personal, it's our inside world, it's how it's expressing through us, is in our depths, it can be a little bit more difficult to process and to come to terms with, right? So let's talk about the sun, right? The sun is our vitality, our life force energy. It is our identity, our ego selves, right? And so who we are is going to feel a little more withdrawn, right? We're going to feel more reserved. We're going to feel like we don't want to put ourselves out there in the world as much. And this will be especially difficult if you identify as someone who is extroverted, as someone who can walk into any space and light up the room, or like someone who can like take command of a situation or a conversation. You might have a little bit more difficult in this time unless you give yourself this permission slip to be okay with feeling less outward, right? So your process is going to want to become more internal, more self focused, and that is perfect. By changing your focus like that, it's actually going to prepare you for the next season better because you'll have this subconscious material that's accessible to you that isn't always. And so the more time you can spend with yourself, the better off you'll be. And so during 12th house season, my general recommendations are to not overbook yourself. Like, limit your calendar, try to ease into the season and your expectations. If you can, choose day by day what it is that you feel like doing, because you might not feel like doing the same things that you normally do. Now, that's a little bit of the sun. Let's talk about Mercury, because Mercury is a really interesting one. So, Mercury is our mind, communication, um, and Mercury and Pisces is non-linear, right? Like Pisces is non-linear. It's like the little fishy that's diving into the bottom of the sea, and then he just like floats to the top and sees what's happening out in the world. And so it's kind of like all over the place. Like imagine a little fishy darting around. Um, and when this is our mind, when this is how we process things, that can feel uncomfortable, right? So think about Pisces opposite sign, Virgo. Virgo is very linear, very strategic, right? Very A, B, C, one, two, three. It's how we think thinking should be. But just because that's normal doesn't mean it's better, and we don't need to be hard on ourselves because that's not what we're experiencing, right? And so, actually, this non-linear way of thinking can help us to reach conclusions that we wouldn't have normally otherwise. And so, some things I recommend with Mercury and the 12th house. First of all, maybe put dating on hold. Like, if you're trying to find your person, you just might not be the time for first date conversations. Like, you might feel a little scattered, and I'm not saying if the opportunity comes, don't take it, but don't like be going out of your way, is my recommendation. Um, Also, don't make it a time where you're trying to put out a lot of content if that is your world, right? If you have a choice about when you're giving presentations or uh, making something like to share with people, just wait until your first house season. Your energy is going to be much more open, much more outward, and it's going to feel a lot better for you. And so, with Mercury in your 12th house, frequencies. Frequencies are your best friend, okay? I have my big headphones with like epic bass and use in harmony. Thank you, Lola. Um, and and I love to go on walks with that. I love to do my morning routine with that. Just like eliminate a lot of the noise that you would typically have in your day to day and replace it with silence or sound or just like you and yourself. And I honestly found that it was really difficult for me to do much else otherwise. Like if you try to consume, even my normal music that I would listen to felt very difficult to take in. Um, so I feel like that might be the case with the Sun or Mercury in your 12th house. Now, Mars. Mars is your life force energy, right? Sorry, that's the Sun. But the Mars is your body, your physical vessel, your motivation, your drive, your passion. And so, with that, Mars traversing your 12th house, you're gonna feel a lot less energy. Like physically, your vessel's not gonna wanna do as much, and that is okay. So, it's really important to not make your body wrong, right? And so, this is a great time to challenge yourself and to see how in tune you are with your body and how accepting you are of the messages that your body is sending you, okay? So, if you're tired, if you're a person that is hitting the gym every day, like hardcore, I really recommend you like dial that down, you know, go twice a week or replace that with some more casual walks out in nature, out in the sunshine. We love that around here, okay? And it's going to be much more nourishing and replenishing for you. And then again, when your first house season comes around, because you've taken time to rest, you will feel so much more activated. Excuse me. Along those lines, yoga nidra. Yoga nidra has saved my life. Now, I am non-sacral. I'm a manifester, and so I already have a more limited energy supply than like 70% of you. And so I will do yoga nidra at least once a day, up to 3 times a day, or whatever my body feels like. And it is a whole process to not shame yourself whenever you need rest. Like it's kind of crazy actually how conditioned we are to think that that is bad. But if you are someone going through 12th house season, whether you're a generator or on sacral, anyone, I recommend giving it a shot like once a day. Also, challenge yourself to limit the coffee during this time because what happens when our body wants more rest, if we are not okay with that, like if we are at odds with that, then we'll try to push through, right? We will caffeinate, like we'll do all of these activating practices, but that's not what we're needing, right? Like that's not what our body is asking for. So, like, I tried to do Kundalini in my 12th house season because I thought, okay, let's get the energy flowing, like, let's get the body moving. And it might have felt okay for a little bit afterwards, but honestly, afterwards, I ended up feeling drained. I was like, hmm, okay, now I'm gonna go do yoga nidra. And that is what actually gives me so much more energy. And it lets you access your subconscious mind. So it's like double win. You're going and down into that deep sleep state. Um, and so much happens that's in yoga nidra that's great. You get so much body awareness. You become really in tune with what the energy that's flowing inside of you and that subconscious process. So my 12th house is mostly Capricorn. And so I thought maybe I'll feel more drive during my 12th house season. Like maybe I'll be more motivated to do work things. No, that did not happen. But what did happen was that I got most of my downloads when I was resting. Like all the things that I needed for work didn't come through trying harder. They come through tuning in more and taking time for myself. So, highly, highly recommend. It's going to be so helpful. Um, try to minimize caffeine. Try to ease up on your workouts and give more time every day to tune into what you actually need and let that be okay. All right, let's see. We talked about the sun, our personalities wanting to draw inwards more. We talked about Mercury, the mind, and how that's nonlinear. We talked about Mars, your physical vessel, and how your energy will be less. Um, is there anything else I want to share? My experience with the 12th house, it was very foggy, just very murky. My brain was like, the brain fog is for real. Um, and just being okay with it and like tuning in different ways, frequencies, baths. Love baths. Baths are great. Um, and just give yourself permission. Like, tune into yourself, be curious, be aware, like, give yourself permission to be differently. Um, 12th house season, I don't think it needs to be hard, but if you have all the same expectations of yourself as you normally do from the outside world, then it's going to be hard. So do what you can to take time for yourself, create space, and if I think of anything else, I'll let you know. I would love to hear what your experience is as you watch your 12th house season. Um, it might be different because even in my 12th house season, Saturn and Neptune were still in Pisces, right? So I had that energy, and now Saturn's in Aries. So it might not feel as prominent, which would be really cool to know. So I'd love to hear your experience. I'll track it next year as well for myself. Um, but yeah, and if you notice during Pisces season as well, like, oh yeah, I can see these things too. Like I feel similarly. It'll express through different areas of your life though. So anyways, that's it. I'd love to hear your experience and what you thought.